The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Apologies for the delays. Had a little bit of an issue getting GoToWebinar started, but here we are. Welcome to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options, opening bell, closing bell. Sorry, I'm a bit disheveled. Closing bell, stocks and options. I'm Scott. I'm the head trading coach here at Tradespoon. I will be your host. Good afternoon. How are things? I hope all is well. How is your trading? And extend that question to everyone. How is trading? You know, I saw the market with its initial reaction this morning, and I kind of actually thought, good. I had an oil trade on. It's doing well. I had a defensive trade on Colgate-Palmolive. It's doing well. I had a calendar spread that was actually a little extended. The drop put it right back into place. Good. Looks great. And what? And now there's this pullback is providing some potential setup opportunities. If you had put a hedge on and you've been holding on to it, you're thinking, okay, I got something, and I've got what I need to know that either A, I'm going to ride it, or B, this thing is almost over now. This is what we were hedging for. If there was anything, it's this now, and if it gets worse, you have the hedge on. If this just fizzles out and disappears, great, take the hedge off. You didn't need it. Hopefully you did well with it and you move on. Trading very good, but AVGO, Marvell, not so good. Yeah, those chip stocks kind of took a hit, right? Kind of took a hit. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Hi, okay, good to see you. So yeah, let's go through the slides. Let's just kind of get into things here. 25 years trading, 21 years teaching. I need to update my slides. I've reached that quarter century mark, that hallowed quarter century mark. So exciting. The disclosures, as always, be careful out there, yada, yada, yada. Okay, let's get this out of the, come on. You got to let go. There we go. There we go. Boom. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. 25 years, wooden spoon. Do I get the wooden spoon, or does somebody hit me with the wooden spoon? I mean, if I get it, I guess it's all right. I don't want to get smacked by the wooden spoon. I feel like I was the last generation of school corporate punishment, because I can remember like first and second grade, a ruler and a spoon where they would smack your hands with it. The teacher could still do that. Like, it was what, 1981? I don't know. Yeah, they don't even sniff at things like that these days. They're like, can I check on you? Am I giving you space to process the fact that you're in trouble for your behavior? Like, what? Okay, let's talk about this market of ours. Interesting day. Careful, FBI listening. What do we have going on today? S&P down 1.25, and then I told you I felt like well, maybe I didn't tell you. I've been saying I felt like the Dow has been a little more of a defensive type move. All of a sudden, the Dow got 0.5% up, NASDAQ down 2.5%, Russell giving back almost 1%. Oh, my oil trade. I've been talking about it. I said I'm going to give it some room. Boom, baby. Off-cycle trades can be so very useful. My defensive position on Colgate-Palmolive working. My calendar spread working. My oil trade working. What's left? Setups. Everything's working, and I'm left with setups. Great. I love setups. Yeah. What do we know? Why these stocks are getting hammered after a media report regarding tighter export restrictions on big tech. That's fine. I mean, that's temporary. That's temporary. Trump is turning up the heat on the Fed. I told you this September. I'll tell you what, they say he's turning up the heat. Meanwhile, I want you to Do I have a highlighter here? Let me draw something for you here. I want you to look at this at the bottom, this middle row. Okay. A month ago, 56% chance. A week ago, it's at 69. Trump starts turning the heat up, it's at 91. He puts out a statement, basically a veiled threat. It's at 95. When they say it's all but baked in, it's all but baked in. Trump making noises he may keep Powell. Here's the thing. Powell's tenure is about, it's not that long. I think he's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe he doesn't care. Right? He's like, look, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. If you decide to fire me, great. I wouldn't want to work for you anyways. That could be his stance. Who knows? I don't know. I gotta think that maybe the threat won't matter. That's just me waxing philosophically. Yeah. Okay. What else? Yeah. So that's definitely. I was still November, but I gotta figure I'm behind now. There is no case being made for there not being a cut in November as of now. This is at least a quarter of a point by November. This is a half a point by November. This is 3/4 of a point. There is no unchanged existence in this probability factor here. Yeah, I gotta say, if it was me, if I was Trump, he thinks he's like gonna scare him out of it. I think he's gonna bait him into it. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. Excuse me. I don't know. What do we think here? Is everybody in the September camp? November camp? I gotta say, I feel like I'm being strong-armed into September based on what we're seeing in this probability factor here. Okay, what else? Trump's turning up the heat. Here's how Project 2025 would reshape your taxes. I don't think that's a well thought out plan. What else? Yeah, that's it. Chip stocks dropping. What do we know? That's a good sales report. It dropped, but not as much as they thought. I mean, it's harder for inflation to come down when the sales don't get some extent negative. And this is actually a little concerningly strong, that if you take out cars, we actually grew in sales. And it's very, very difficult to have inflation come down when sales are growing. 50% for July, Bob said. Oh, I didn't even think about that. July. Thinking they may sneak it in. You're 50%. The market's at 4%. Yeah, I mean, we've got what, 2 weeks from today? 2 weeks from today. I don't know. That'd be a tough one. But that would certainly preempt doing it in September, right before the election cycle, right? The voting cycle. Interesting thought there. What else do we know? Production was up. Utilization up. That's okay. Good. Building housing starts up. Building permits up. Tomorrow, jobs, which are back in the 220s. No problem with that. So what are we seeing? Corporate information from the financial sector has been favorable. Inflationary data has been favorable. Yeah. Hence, I'm bullish. I've been bullish. I remain bullish. I expect to continue bullish. I'm willing to do off-cycle trades, of course, right? Like me buying bullish trades on consumer defensive or oil. It's still overall bullish, but it's off-cycle, right? I don't expect it to have to move in the same correlation as the market itself. Calendar spread working out great. New one now. I'm going to say no. No, I think. Well, actually, I guess maybe we could. Let's go look at the VIX and the market. Let's go in here. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like no. Here SPY is really, we're down 1.28. The VIX, you can see we had a spike on the VIX. Not a big spike, but it definitely broke out of this consolidation line coming down through here, right? Pussed it up. Took out this old high. So we're actually at a higher high. We had a same low. But we did flag that if you're carrying some bullish trades, that would be a great time to consider putting on a cheap hedge. And if you did that, and that cheap hedge just kind of sat for a while, but you held it because it never told you to get rid of it, what would you do right now? You'd be like, okay. Now as I get to where I'm making some money on the hedge, I've got to think about taking some. If I don't ever take some money on the hedge, then I'm never going to be able to actually maintain some kind of positivity with my hedge activities from a trade result standpoint, right? So yeah. What about new trades? It's very hard. I did actually have a signal for a new trade today. Where? Somewhat defensive. Here on Walmart. It was really kind of a signal from yesterday into early today, but it's a nice trend. If I replicate this trend line, that's what I'm looking at right here. Very solid, very steady. But not much else by way of new signals, right? So that's one of the things we're thinking about do I have new signals that I could think about trading to start a new trade today? And yeah, for me, it was hard. I didn't see anything really that stood out. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Is there good trades that I'm missing? Let's get a quiz real fast, and then let's look at the watch list. No, sorry, we can't quiz yet. I'm all out of order. That always happens when I can't get in initially. Puts me a little out of sorts. Here's the SPY. What does Stella say? Stella, like me, is still bullish. She's still bullish. She looks at this and she says, as of right now, if I were making a prediction on what's going to happen next, it would be that we would have a minor downward consolidation, which is exactly what is being demonstrated in these predictions right here, right? A minor downward consolidation. Yeah, that looks very bullish to me. That makes me say that if the market does pull back for a few days, I should be lining up where my next round of bullish trades is going to come from. That's what I'm thinking here. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think I'm overly bullish. Is anyone? Yeah, that's reasonable. It's reasonable for you to bring it up. I'm not. I'm exactly the right amount of bullish. What is my score? It's exactly the same and has been the whole time. Right? It's exactly the same and it has been this whole time. quiet out there. How's everybody doing? How are you trading? What are you in? Let's look at the cues. A little bit more bearish on this one. Reasonable plan, steady as you go. Love it, Fred. 100%. 100%. QQQ. Ooh, there's a little bit more concern here. Not of negativity, but just of how much downside there may be. When I see this, I just think to myself, Stella needs more information before she can give us a stopping point. Fine. That's reasonable. That's a reasonable thing for her to ask for, is just to get a little more info before coming up with an answer. KBH looked strong. CSX, railroads, strong. DIA, love it, Bob. Well done. Well done. What else? SP IWM. Gotta tell you, been a lot of strength. You can see Stella expects small caps to be the case for the Dow. No. Interesting. Actually, Stella said the Dow may have one more good day like it did before it has a pullback. Yeah, I gotta say, I think what Stella is seeing right now is quite reasonable. Yeah, nothing here looks out of the ordinary at all. So, yeah, great. Okay. Quick quiz. Then we'll get to the watch list. SPY. Yeah, that AVGO fell apart fast, didn't it, Fred? I actually traded that, got out and was waiting to see if another one was going to come, and then it just but all chips kind of fell apart. I think it's just going to be temporary, and I'm looking for an opportunity to come back in. Okay, SPY. Sorry, I'm all of a sudden dying of heat. I got to turn my AC on. Luckily, I can do it from the phone real fast. I need to blow some air on myself. Hey, Ricardo. Buenos dias. XOM COP looking good. Yeah, I got COP. I've been in COP for a little while. COP. Got in back here on this higher low entry, and giving back a little today, but overall it's a nice trade. It's a nice trade. Okay, quiz, VIX, watch list. Quiz, VIX, watch list. We're now dojied. So we opened, rallied a little, and then sold off, and now we're trying to come back. Okay. I'm going to go kind of across here and below here. A, B, C. What would those numbers be? We're going to call it 558.25 and 557.25. We're going to go $1. 558.25 and above is an A. I have Ricardo, I have Bob, I have Fred at A. In between, I have B. I'm going to go B. LK's going to go B. In this range that we've been in for the past, I don't know, about an hour and a half, give or take. Actually, even a little longer than that, other than if you notice here, you have a couple of blips. But other than that, we've been in this area for quite a while. I'm going with a B. LK's a B. And then C is down below. Basically, C, you're saying it's going to touch lows. Get near the lows. I don't have anybody at C territory. Let's go see what Stella says. Okay. We'll go intraday. Stella says that at, I don't know why it's saying it's 11 p.m. for me, but at market close, 557.78. 557.78. Stella's a B. Stella is a B. Brad is a B. Scott is a B. All right, look at that. We have 4 A's, 4 B's, including Stella. Q's rally tomorrow too. Ah, okay. It's going to rally tomorrow. It's going to come back, a bounce back. We're down 2.5%, Bob. How much bounce back are we getting? I agree, but I don't think it's going to be much. Half of what we got. It's going to harami, an inside day. Now, if it gives us a full 2.5%, that becomes a tweezer hold. That's very, very bullish as a candlestick pattern, mind you. And I know every one of you is out there thinking, obviously, Scott, we all knew tweezer holds were strongly bullish patterns. You don't need to keep saying obvious things. I just wanted to say it out loud. That's all. There's no need to lash out at me. I'm just the messenger. Bob agrees, as does the 8-ball. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same page. Okay, quiz on. Window closing this here. What did we say? We're off the highs, but I'll tell you what. I mean, you can see it touched 15, which was back here. Clearly above this. A little bit of an escalation, but that's still quite minor. Don't let it shake you. Anything under 18 in the VIX should not be able to shake you. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about our watch list and what's going on. Excuse me. Pardon me. Okay. Nope. Back at Apple. Apple. Love Apple. My old highs on Apple are back here. My moving average is moving at a pretty steady clip this way. I would say that I've got a window that exists through here. Any pullback and turn, the selling cycle has started. It's continuing. Obviously, we're looking for the confirmation to come through these windows. And what's it going to look like? Something like this. When this turns, when this bottoms and starts to turn, should we be thinking about the next Apple trade? I can't imagine why you wouldn't. What would be the logic to not do so? And if there's no good logic to not to, then we probably just should. So if this is all I showed you, you wouldn't be like, what about the bad news from today? You'd be like, hey, that's a bullish looking stock, Scott. A leader in a bullish sector that we need. Yeah, great. All signs are in place. Let's just be patient. Let it come. Be ready to go. AMD. That's a little less certain there, right? I liked AMD. And I liked AMD in this window. What's the problem? That's not in my window. It's not all the way back here yet. I say yet because you can see it has pretty nasty volume. We're down 9%. We get nervous about 10% as a move. This is 9% in a day. And what are we concerned about? Is it a consolidation, a pullback, or is it a sell-off, which is obviously bigger and more sinister? I would have to maybe lean this one more towards sell-off, where I'm like, I don't think I would just jump into this. What's the news? I believe it's news out of China about curbing exports, but I admit it. And so if someone has like a better succinct summary than that, give it to me and I'll pass it on to the group. But yeah, that's going to be part of my post-market analysis, is to assess what's the news? Where is it coming from? as of right now, I don't really feel like there's much concern. So Amazon, this is starting to be concerning. I like Amazon, but I want Amazon. All right, we're right at it. So is there a little bit of a cushion through here? Yes, but not much. So I'd really like to see one of those rally inside day, start to turn. Yes. This thing would turn. Bango, bingo, bazango, there's a trade. Trump threatened Taiwan to pay for protection because they stole our semi-production. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, do we say stole? If they produce it here, what's the cost? Someone has to bear those costs. I'm just saying. Like it seems like there'd be a hybrid solution, because I know we have like the ability to tell companies like the Corporate Patriot Act or something, where it's like they did it with PPP. They're like, we're going to force you to use your plant to make PPP. You're going to stop producing what you produce to make money, and you're going to do that. But it seems like with companies like, these chips, they should be like, okay, you can't have more than 80% of your manufacturing offshore, because obviously the bulk of it's going to be, otherwise the cost becomes prohibitive. But at the same time, there needs to be an ability to be like, hey, if something goes nasty, we're producing them locally, and then have the ability to be like, okay, if something ever went down, everything produced locally can only be sold locally, and that way our chip supply domestically would be intact, right? I don't know. Doesn't it seem like we could come up with some kind of a solution there where best of both worlds? Obviously, production costs are less overseas, and everybody benefits from that because these chips are in everything all the time. But it is a risk to have your manufacturing eggs all in one basket. If that basket, goes haywire. It's exciting. It's exciting things to consider. But at the end of the day, I still like Amazon. I still think Amazon is poised and setting up. ABGO. I don't love it because it's a full retracement. We already talked about that. Like, it's come all the way back. What does that tell me about the sellers? They're still there. What does it tell me about the buyers? They didn't have the ability to hold it above this retracement. So yeah, I don't love that. AXP looks overextended, but it looks strong. And on the pullback, I will trade it. I just still watch Boeing. I will trade Bank of America on the pullback. I will trade BLDR. Oh, BLDR. This is an old friend of mine. Industrials. What happened? Broke the consolidation. Bam. New high. Now what? Just waiting for the pullback. That trade would have worked beautifully here. And you can see when I get that pullback and then it bounces, then I think now I have my new trend that runs with the moving average and does trade and then trade and then trade. And we're catching as many as we can. I'm seeing a good number of financials lining up into that scenario. Why can't I delete? I love this drawing tool. I will tell you that. But every now and again, it freezes on me. And it locks up my system a little bit. I have to threaten to close it down. And then all of a sudden it starts working. All right. Oh, that's why I was using the other drawing tools. Sorry, my fault. What am I looking for now? I'm looking for a pullback. It broke the consolidation, higher high, coming back, higher low, next trade, setting up. Setting up. What else? City, not yet. Caterpillar. I love to see a breakout in Caterpillar. Love it. That's another sector, right? Where it's like, hey, CCL looking strong, Carnival Cruise. Colgate Palmolive, this is a trade I put on here. Was able to withstand, still in. Still hoping to get this last little piece. Come on. I think I can. Yes. CMG. No. Oil. Yes. Same thing. Where did the oil trade come? What did it come from? Consolidation line. Broke it. Pull back. Higher low. Bingo, bango. There's the trade. And now it's going. I think it could get up here. I still got some room before I want to take it. Okay. Costco, very close. I would still take it. I was actually looking at this one and Walmart. Walmart's already fired. Walmart already looks good. Let's get in there. Costco looks close. Looks bullish. Be ready. Somebody mentioned CSX. This is actually the railroad that I chose as well. However, I'm not in it yet. I could see why. I believe that that's valid. Boom. Up, down. Now, you have here, that was a tough one, but if you took it, I'm thinking to myself, when this thing dies and comes back, there's my next trade. Hopefully I get it in plenty of time, and then from there, let's try to trade the trend. Carvana, I've seen some increased strength in consumer discretionary. There's a candidate. Higher low, let's go. Ford, same thing. Look at that. It's not just Tesla that's doing better right now. It's also Tesla and Ford and General Motors and Rivian. Fastenal, that's an old friend. From where? Industrials. Do I think we're seeing good news in the industrial sector? Bam, breakout, new high, pull back, new trade. Be patient, let it come. FCX, maybe. GBTC, I don't know. This is a REIT, but I came across it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take a look. It may not last long. Admittedly, it may not last long. Gold, overextended, GM. Like Ford, I'm watching both. We'll see which one gives me a trade first. Google, tradable if I get a signal, but I got to be careful because earnings are soon. I don't have a lot of time for this thing to catch. I still think I'll take it, though, even if I only get 3 or 4 days. Home Depot, I need a pullback. HWM. I actually was going to put that, and I don't love it right now. So just like that, it's gone. Poof. It's gone. Took it after that first big confirmation candle. Which one was that, Bob? Home Depot? Fastenal? CSX? CSX, CBH, bang, breakout, new highs. Coca-Cola breaking out. Meta is not breaking out. Meta looks like a dog today. I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to go look into that. See if I can't figure out some type of an explanation. MFC, I think that looks great. I would trade that soon. That's insurance. That's a little bit outside of the brokers and the banks. MMM, no. MS needs a pullback. So you can see that even within financials, there's like 2 different styles. One pulling back now, one that might be a little behind it. Great. That's more opportunity for us to trade. Microsoft, very close. It held the 50. If it holds the 50, I'm going to give it a chance. That's my policy on that. If it holds that 50-day, I'm going to see if it's going to potentially spit out a trade. Okay. Micron. Micron is one that I tried. Ended up taking a loss on it, a very small loss. It kept looking like it was going to go, and then it would just sort of false start. Just couldn't get any traction in it, unfortunately. So okay, we give it as much time as we can. When it's time to go, it's time to go. Where were we? Oh my gosh. Where were we? Netflix. No, nothing there now. At least I don't see it, especially with the earnings. Nvidia? Maybe. We'll have to see how the dust settles in the chip sector. Is kind of my thought. Yeah. QQQ still looks bullish, but it is pulling back. SPY still looks bullish, but it is pulling back. TJX, that's a new retail consumer discretionary. I like that. Watching it. TSM still viable. UUP, the dollar giving back, looking a little better still. Here is the VIX. Now, real quickly, I think I showed this. This was the calendar. I think I showed this early on. Today is here. You can see that, this calendar was about to need an adjustment to extend it before today came along. So today was super helpful because prior to today, let's go look at the SPY chart. Prior to today, we were at 564. That was right here. And I can tell you it wasn't showing profit. It's showing profit there now because we have an increase in implied volatility. This thing was losing money yesterday. Not a lot, but it had loss, which means what? Which means if we were going to carry it through the next weekend, I would have had to have adjusted and put another one of these on. Right? I would have had to have slapped one on out here to connect the two. And then I'd be like, okay, now I can carry through the weekend and then try to close Monday or Tuesday for some gain, hopefully 20, 30%. But that's not what happened. What happened was we got this pullback. And now we're almost back to the middle. But if I stay on the left side of 558 for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday. It's my son's birthday on Friday. He turns 22. How did that even happen? Now, if it gets there, then I get the weekend. Now, at this point, I'm at 450 in profit. But I want you to watch this 457, and I get 3 more days. I get Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So between Friday and Monday, I go from 450 to 650. Yeah, if I get to Friday, I'll carry it. Then Monday morning, I'll say, all right, we're done here. We're done here. $658 profit. What was the original cost of the trade? About $1.10. 65 on $1.10. That's about 60%. Nothing. Put it on. Let it go. So am I still, people keep asking, are you still trading calendars? I have, will, am, have, and will. As long as that VIX is under 15, am, have, will. And this is why. Because they just can just slide. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I think I might have to do something with that. And then boom. Oh, and look at that. I could literally take 40% on this trade right now and walk away. I don't need to. I can try to push a little bit. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Let's keep going. Yeah, I think we have setups knocking on the door as a result of what's going on today. Here is the TJX. Nope, that's wrong. TJ. Where are you? There it is. TJX looks bullish, but it's pulling back. TSM. Oh, we already did this. Holding up. Yeah, we went through these already, didn't we? Walmart looks good. Yeah. I'll tell you how fast it falls apart. This morning, I looked at a 70.72.5 August bull call spread. I could have put it on for $1.05. I was thinking it was probably about $30 a risk for $110 in gain per contract. 3-1. Right now, that by the end of today, that is now trading at $1.30. If you put the trade on now, you wouldn't even get 2-1. So that's a timing strategy. We have to catch it then. Hope we don't catch it too early and then see how it goes. But yeah, if you miss it, you miss it. What do? You line up something else and you get ready for the next one, right? And then you get ready for the next one because there's always something new lining up behind. SLB Schlumberger, Schlumberger, as the French would say, Schlumberger. You guys probably didn't know I had a pretty decent French accent. I do. I lived in France. I could still do a couple of things. Order a beer and curse somebody in French. SLB. And they would think I was local. Maybe not local, but I wouldn't sound terrible. I like SLB. It's part of the oil trade, right? I sound like Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew. Mon ami. I actually think it's the chef from what's that Disney show, Little Mermaid? Oh, zut alors. Oh, the ADD's kicking in. We got to wrap this thing up. You have earnings, though. So if you got in on the turn of this trade, great. You've gotten 4 days. You may have one or two more. Yeah, start getting that stop loss tightened up. Start maybe thinking about locking some gain in. SLB, c'est très magnifique. Yeah, that's enough. No more fun. Let's go award a quiz and get out of here before you guys boo me off the stage, you know. Here is the SPY. Here is the 5-minute chart. Oh, well, it actually made a run back down to C territory, but it bounced. It bounced and is starting to move back up. But it hasn't bounced enough. 558.25. That's what you needed to be an A. We're a little early, but due to the mayhem that my ADD is creating, we're going to call it a little early. And it may be suspect to some of you who are A's. The B's probably aren't as suspicious, but I'm going to award the B's, which includes myself, a shiny gold medal. Wear it with pride, B's, A's. You know the routine. Hang your head in shame until the next opportunity to do better. It's good to see everybody. I got to tell you, I like this market. Nothing's changed for me. I still like what I see. I likes what I sees. Looks fine. Have a plan, stick to the plan, and you also will be fine. 9 out of 10 doctors say that if you stick to your rules, you'll have much better results with your trading. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say, but that's what the doctors say. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys on Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning. We'll kick things off on time at 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern, 7:15 if you're Mountain Time. Have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated if it's still hot where you are this summer. And as always, happy trading.